Actually, the one thing I can say, because it's actually out on Instagram, is that we have the first single coming by the end of September.
Hello and welcome to Surprise Radio. This is your home for independent music and artists, and I am beyond thrilled to say that my guest today is the extraordinary drummer Eleni Nota of the band Ankor. I am blown away that she agreed to be on the show. She gave us some pretty good information as far as what we can expect from Ankor coming down the pipeline. Some really exciting stuff. So enjoy my interview with Eleni Nota of Ankor.
Hello, my name is Eleni Nota, and I play drums for the Catalan Spanish metalcore band Ankor.
And thank you so much for joining me. It shows that you've been playing drums since you were 13, that you studied music in Athens around 2012 and joined Nervosa in 2020. Were there any bands before that, any Greek bands or anything like that?
Sure. I was playing in a few local bands here in Athens, like Masco Prospero, Ghost Season, My Inferno, and many more. But I think these were the most important ones, which were all like more modern metalcore bands.
Now, I know that when you joined Ankor in 2022, you were replacing a legend in a lot of people's eyes. I just wanted to know if there were any songs that they wrote from before that you really enjoyed playing, and are there any that you were tempted to change a little bit, if you thought to add, a couple of things while you were playing?
Definitely, like some of the older Ankor songs are some of my favorites to play. Especially if I had to pick, it would be Hill Valley, which in general, from all Ankor songs, even from the ones I did with the guys, Hill Valley is one of my favorites to play live. It's an amazing song, and the crowd always jumps towards the end, so it's a really cool song to play. Maybe also I'm not gonna lose it. It's very fun. So yeah, like the older Ankor songs are super cool to play. And in terms of changing, yeah, here and there, I think I added some stuff in pretty much in every song, like not in some of them, pretty much in every song. But here and there, not too much, because then, it will be a different song, and that's not cool. So just a few details.
Hill Valley is actually the very first song by Ankor that I featured on the channel, so that's awesome that you like it so
Ooh.
much.
Oh, nice. So it's a great song.
I love that song. Now, you took piano lessons, and an Ankor does have a lot of piano parts in there. Are you willing or able to play them live? I know that you usually use pre-recorded for the piano parts, but is that something you're willing or able to do?
No, no, for
No.
sure. Like I haven't played the piano in ages, many, many years. So that wouldn't be a good idea. I'm not very good anymore at it. I would need a lot of practice, and I don't think I have the time to do it. I prefer to be just a drummer. I think I'll stick to that. But good point.
I totally understand that. Do you have a favorite song to play?
Prisoner.
Yeah.
Live. To play live Prisoner for sure. Because it has a nice energy. Like the drum parts are nice, very energetic, and also it's not very hard to play. Like compared to the other ones from my era, let's say, it's the easiest technically. So then I can chill a little bit, check around me a bit more, and have fun with the other guys. Like there are more demanding songs that you know, I have to be really concentrated. So that's why I really like Prisoner, because I don't need that much concentration to play it.
I like to hear that. I always wondered if Prisoner was the first song released because it showcases so much of what you're able to do, and it feels like it's such a drum heavy song, but for you to say it's so easy for you, or one of the easier ones for you, is really interesting to learn.
Yeah, like sometimes I've realized that, like talking about drums, sometimes parts that sound easier to non-drummers are not necessarily easier. It can be the opposite. For example, Oblivion, it's much harder than Prisoner to play. Let's say, or Embers, which are softer songs. But Prisoner is technically easier. It's just a bit faster. but faster doesn't always mean harder. It's not easy, but easier at least.
I do understand that. Now, I know that you are in between albums, and a lot of times when Ankor is in between albums, they like to put out a couple of covers. I don't know if you're going to do that. I don't know if you're allowed to talk about that, but do you have any covers that you'd like to do, and are you able to talk about that at all?
So let's say it's not out of the question, the release of future covers, but it's not gonna happen like really soon. First, because like actually the new songs are coming quite soon. So we're not gonna release covers before that, maybe after. I'm not ruling this out. It's under discussion, but let's see. But let's say that we want to do like maybe I will spoil something, so I cannot say for the whole band. But if it was up to me, I don't know, some Billie Eilish that I really like, or older Lady Gaga and Katy Perry. Like I love, and Dua Lipa as well. I would easily love to do this stuff.
That's cool. I love a good pop to metal cover like that. That's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You guys have been touring a lot the last couple of years. Have you had a favorite tour or venue that you've done with Anchor or before? I know that you played Vakin, that you've done a lot of really fun shows, but what's your personal favorite that you've ever done?
Speaking about tour as a whole, I would say the last one that we did, the European UK tour we did like this year, 2025. It was February and March. It was our headline tour. So and went really great. Many shows. It was 30 shows. It was pretty hectic, but it was a really rewarding tour because it was mostly our crowd, and we kind of tested our force, let's say, how many people we can bring over and everything, and it exceeded expectations. So it was my favorite tour for sure, and I think for everybody. If I have to pick a show, it would be uh, from this tour. It would either be Schaffenburg in Germany. It was one of the last ones. The crowd was really nuts that day. It was packed to death, the venue, and the crowd was insane. And also, I would say Hamburg, which is always crazy. Hamburg is crazy every time. And London. These three. I cannot have a favorite one. Like I think I would be unfair to the other ones, but this would be my top three, let's say. And I'm excluding festivals because festivals are a different experience. I'm talking about headline venue shows.
So you're playing all these shows in Germany. You should play some shows with Chaos Bay. I don't know if you've heard them, but they're a German band that's absolutely incredible. I think they'd go with y'all really really well.
Oh, what's the name again?
Chaos Bay.
Okay, I don't know them. I'll check them out.
They're metalcore, so they're a lot of fun. Personally, I prefer the song "Why," but they have a lot of really good songs. Um, but that's just me. I just think that that would be a really fun tour. Speaking of fun tours, though, when are you coming to America? Because we are hankering for some Anchor.
I don't know yet. For sure, we're gonna come. Like we've been really trying to do this. It's not very easy because it's gonna be the band first, and I think for every European band, the first US American tour is always the hardest. Um, financially speaking and logistically. So we've been trying
Absolutely.
for quite a while, like since last year. So it's definitely gonna happen, but I cannot tell you a date. Not be, I even don't know it yet. So,
Of course,
but
of course.
we're gonna go.
Well, just so you know, Texas is screaming for you. But if you really honestly, I'm at the point to where if y'all come anywhere near me, I'm gonna drive however long it takes to get there to catch an Anchor
So much.
show.
Thank you so much.
So we talked about some of your favorite tour stops. What about some favorite tour memories that you've made?
Favorite tour memories. I would mostly say, these nights that I mentioned, like the crowd during and after, it's always crazy. When you have a really passionate crowd that they're really into the show, it moves you. It can get quite sentimental. Um, so yeah, because there are always little moments. For example, I have a lot of friends abroad, so I could say 10 different favorite moments that I met this friend in this city, this friend in the city that maybe I hadn't seen them for months or years. But this is more personal. So regarding our music and us as a band, I would say memories with the crowd. A great example is so I mentioned before in Aschaffenburg that in the front row there were these two people who were father and son, but the son he wasn't a kid, he was a young adult, and the father I think he was in his 40s, 50s, something. And they were hugging each other and were being really happy with their son. It feels nice to see, a parent and a kid having fun together in our a concert like this, as a bonding time for them. So it was a bit moving. And also when we see young kids, feels super nice to have the younger generation in our shows.
I can definitely understand that. And it's okay if some of the favorite memories are personal. I kind of asked that question wondering if it was more about the music or maybe some of the stops that you made that you hadn't been to before, you were making memories and things like that. But it's always about the music, isn't it?
Normally, yes. Okay, if I had to pick a personal favorite moment, it would be meeting again. I don't know if you said you mentioned Nervosa before. So the singer, the ex-singer that we were at the same time in Nervosa, her
Diva.
name is Diva Panica, and she's from Spain, from Madrid. So that's
Mhm.
actually she's not from Madrid, but she lives in Madrid. And I hadn't seen her for quite a while, and we were really good friends. So she came to our show in Madrid back in February, and during like I had some small breaks from my show, like this in between moments, and maybe backing tracks were playing and I wasn't supposed to play, so I was jumping out of stage, going towards she was in the crowd, hugging her and running back to the show. And I did that like 3 times. I was disappearing from the stage and going back there.
That's awesome.
So, because like, it can happen that you love a person so much, but you don't live close to each other. And,
Hmm.
you might not see each other for years even. So when you get to see that person, and especially if it's so involved that you're playing and it's there to support, it feels so nice. So that was, I think, the most sentimental moment for me from that tour, and maybe in general from any tour.
Yeah, I definitely felt the love from Diva for you. I don't remember what it was. It was just a random Instagram post, but I showed you some love in the comments, and she jumped right on there and was talking about how much she loved you too. So I love to see that love going around. I'm big on positivity and love, so I love seeing that go around.
Oh yeah,
Um,
and she's actually the reason I got in Ankor. So it's
oh,
even more special because she knew the guys. They were friends. They had worked together, and she was the one who suggested me to the guys
very
when they were
cool.
looking for the drummer after Era left. So it's even crazier if you think about it this way.
Have you had a chance to interact with Ra at all?
No, actually, unfortunately, I've never met her because I didn't know like the guys personally before. So I never met the band like Ankor before I joined. And when I joined, she wasn't in the picture anymore. So actually never came across her.
Mhm.
But I would love to, and I really like her playing.
I do too. Yeah. So do you have any dream tour mates? Anybody that you would just absolutely love to go on tour with? It could be somebody famous or just somebody that you admire that's up and coming that you think would fit well with you or anything like that. I know that I threw Chaos Bay out there, but I'd like to know your personal preferences.
Okay, so dream tour would be Electric Callboy, I would say. Well, that's a hard one. Bring Me the Horizon and Ankor, which is like sounds strange, and I don't even know if it's a good match. These three bands together musically, but I love Electrical Boy and Bring the Horizon way too much, and I would love to do with both of them. So why not put everyone in one tour?
I think that'd be a lot of fun. And besides, like I said, the you guys are still basically independent. I think that you've signed recently, but you're still working more or less with the independent mindset, so that would still help growth. So I love that idea.
Yeah, that would be awesome if it happened. Or I don't know, Blood Thunder, the US band, to tour together just to we spend more time together. That would also be cool.
So now we've come to the part that I don't know if you're able to ask or not, or answer or not, but I have to ask. Do you have any? I know that you sort of teased some upcoming music. Do you have any singles coming soon? Any more tours you want to talk about? Anything like that that you want to go ahead and promote now?
Actually, the one thing I can say, because it's actually out on Instagram, is that we have the first single coming by the end of September. I'm really bad with numbers. I think it's the 25th. I think it's the 25th, but it's definitely like 20 something, and most probably 25th of September. So that I can say. And the next singles are not gonna come much later. So they're all gonna come quite soon. Um, and about future shows, actually, everything like I can say, it's confirmed already and out on social media. We have a Spanish festival in Granada in the end of October, and then we're touring with Nothing More, Catch Your Breath, and Solence in Europe and UK, like from November till December, till early December, and hopefully the States next year. But that's just
Hopefully
that's
so.
what I want. Yeah.
That's really late in the year. I know that a lot of bands tend to start taking some time off around November and December, so that's really exciting that you're going to be playing some shows and possibly putting some music out too.
Yeah, it's gonna be quite hectic now because it's gonna be just release of new music, touring, and then more release of new music. So it's cool. The schedule, the calendar is full. Let's say.
So I also know that you do some drum lessons. I want to shout that out that anybody out there that wants to learn from one of the best in the business, you can look up Eleni on your socials and your website. You have your own website too, right? Or is it just a link tree?
Website, no, it's just a link tree. But I have Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and email. If anybody wants to send me an email, it's on my Instagram account. So thank you for the mention.
And I will definitely link that down below. So anybody that's watching this, check out the links below and learn, like I said, from one of the best. Do you have any sponsors you want to shout out at this time?
Oh, yeah, sure. So I'm sponsored by Pies the Symbols, Evans Drumhead, Vincent Drumsticks, Mavex Drums, Sound Hoops, and SC Electronics microphones and Visioneers. Oh, and they're all amazing. Like they support me a lot on tour and at home.
It's good to hear. And do you have anything else that you want to shout out?
First of all, shout out to you for doing this and sharing music with the world. And thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. And I don't know, shout to everybody who has good taste in music and you know uh, they just have to offer love, peace, and kindness, pretty much. And shout out to my band because they're cool.
Well, thank you so much, Eleni, for joining me. It was honestly the pleasure of a lifetime to have you, and I can't wait for the new Anchor and for you guys to come to the United States.
Thank you so much for having me. I hope to see you soon in person in the States.
We'll see you then.